Good evening and thank you for joining us. A murder charge has been laid in Wabaseemoong First Nation. Treaty 3 police responded to a residence on Friday to find a 34-year-old from the First Nation in medical distress who was later pronounced dead. The investigation led to the arrest of 33-year-old Sheldon McDonald, also of Wabaseemoong First Nation. The accused has been charged with second-degree murder and remains in custody. McDonald's scheduled to appear before the Ontario Court of Justice in July. Staying out in the region where Rainy River OPP responded to a boat fire this weekend. The vessel was on fire near Goose Portage on Rainy Lake. Thankfully, no injuries were reported. OPP is reminding boaters the importance of having proper safety equipment on board at all times. The province's police oversight agency has terminated an investigation against a Thunder Bay police officer. It dates back to a February incident where the officer pursued a civilian vehicle in their cruiser. The pursuit ended when the vehicles collided on Nebing Avenue. Since there was insufficient evidence of serious injury that is within the terms of the Special Investigation Unit's mandate, the file has been closed. Over to City Hall now, where the response to homelessness will once again be discussed by City Council. That's on the agenda for tomorrow's meeting. It comes as recent estimates show more than 150 people are currently living outdoors. That's an increase compared to this time last year. The report coming to Council offers a few potential responses. That includes a built structure pilot project. If the city moves forward with that option, a specific site would be established that could accommodate up to 23 cabins. The site would also feature a separate shower, washroom, and laundry units. McKellar Councillor Brian Hamilton says if the city wants to consider designated sites, location will be crucial.
People are going to where they feel comfortable, and in the most part, they're choosing sites that probably align with a designated camp policy. We're seeing that that just happen naturally and organically. Our community partners are being able to serve at these sites, and if our community partners, and we need to let them lead, like that's absolutely critical. They're the ones on the ground.
We're at least a year away from seeing any significant openings of affordable housing. But even that won't nearly reach the number of people we need to. So we need to have some interim solutions. And I feel like this report is a really great start on that.
The report recommends distance guidelines for designated encampments. That includes not setting them up within 100 meters of a school or 20 meters of any private property line. Also on the agenda for City Council tomorrow will be whether or not to ratify a decision to surplus some parkettes. The plan would be to build housing units on the land to hit the city's ambitious targets. Well, today a gathering was held by members in the Woodside area looking to save their parkette. Around 40 were in attendance discussing the benefits of the green space that brings to the community. Some residents will be taking their advocacy to City Hall tomorrow and speaking before Council, asking for a 6-month delay on that decision. That includes resident Kevin Green, who believes the city should be looking to build housing elsewhere and not taking away parkettes.
The green space is very important because a lot of the older families that have moved out of this neighborhood in the last, say, 10 years has been supplanted with young kids, growing families, and they need a place to play. That's what we want to do. We want to make sure that Council considers everything and not just this.
The neighborhood does have the Hogarth Parkette one street over, though the city isn't planning to develop that space. Tomorrow, Council will also debate 3 previously spared parkettes that include the one on Thistle Crescent, Thornlow Drive, and Holly Crescent. Councillor Brian Hamilton is asking Council to add these lots to the surplus list, arguing that tough decisions need to be made if the city wants to hit its housing targets. Thunder Bay's oldest park celebrated a huge milestone today. Hundreds made their way to Waverley Park for music, activities, and to help commemorate its 150th anniversary. Jessica Clement reports.
Waverley Park has been serving the Thunder Bay public as green space since 1871. And to celebrate over 150 years, a picnic was held on Sunday.
It is the oldest park in Thunder Bay. It is the second oldest in Ontario. And you just look at this massive green space here, you look at the large trees. It's just a place where people want to gather. It's a place where there's a lot of potential, there's a lot of fun to be had here. but it's also like a place where people have demonstrations, a place where people have their graduations and weddings, and like this park is special to so many in this community.
David George Noonan, president of the Waverley Park Coalition, says they wanted to do something special for the big milestone. Hundreds came out for the event, and attendees were up on their feet dancing to the music performed by the Roy Coran Big Band and Rodney Brown. The coalition brought in other forms of entertainment for the younger visitors, including outdoor games and the Thunder Bay Clown Club. Noonan says it's great to see everyone out enjoying the park, especially with the threat of rain earlier in the day.
It is so great to see so many people here. Like there's several hundred people here today, and it just really gets you going. It gets you very excited about things to come and what we can do with this park.
We spoke to some attendees and asked what they enjoyed most about spending the day at Waverley Park.
It's pretty fun. We got this face paint done for free.
I got face paint, and from the Thunder Bay Clown Club, it was very good experience.
Everybody here is so nice.
Face paint.
Are you saying why?
Because the clowns did it.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, this is such a good location, and then we come Monday nights during the summer as well. So it's convenient, and there's always so many things to do around here. Pretty spot.
And Noonan says there's more fun up ahead as the Waverley Park Concert Series starts July 8th at 6:30 p.m. Jessica Clement, TBT News.
Residents' taste buds went on a trip around the world today as the Tapestry Women's Network hosted its 4th annual ethnic food picnic. Attendees were able to celebrate Thunder Bay's diversity, try international cuisines, and watch cultural dances. The Moose Hall was packed Sunday afternoon with attendees eager to try the various foods made by local home chefs and caterers. The event had around 20 vendors from different parts of the world who were happy to be able to share bits of their culture through their food and drink. Tapestry co-founder Rupa Rakshit says she loves how much the event shows cultural diversity in Thunder Bay.
The diverse multicultural community celebrate. We are celebrating culture, we are celebrating food, we are celebrating just being together, connections, networking.
Even though it's diversity and multicultural, this whole multiculturalism actually comes together and unifies us as Canadian, as Thunder Bay citizens. So that's what we are proud of.
Kenora Rainy River MPP Greg Rickford's newly revamped ministry was officially launched this week. It happened during an announcement by Premier Doug Ford in Greenstone, where he renewed partnerships with area First Nations.
It's really about a story of meaningful partnerships, building the kinds of relationships that get us to a place and gets the Premier to a place where he decides to rename our portfolio and add First Nations economic reconciliation. And if you unpack what we're doing here today, Premier, how about we just launch the ministry right here, right now?
Rickford's new look portfolio was part of the recent Ontario cabinet shuffle. His role now includes building relationships with First Nations in the province that the government hopes will allow for better collaboration and cooperation when it comes to development. Rickford said the timing of Tuesday's announcement just made sense to officially launch the new ministry.
Today is a testament to what we believe, based on the relationships that we're building, that constitutes First Nations economic reconciliation. You heard the chief speak loud and clear today. They want in on these projects, whether it's commercial development, industrial development. They're full partners at the mine. They'll be involved in the supply chain. This plaza site here is going to serve as a central hub to the corridor to prosperity.
Rickford insists forming and maintaining these relationships with First Nations is his ministry's top priority as the provincial government sets its eyes on further developments in the north. The Thunder Bay Public Library hosted a media launch this week for their annual TD Summer Reading Club, and this year they've got some extra incentives for young baseball fans. This year the program is made possible with the help of community sponsors, including the Thunder Bay Border Cats, Boston Pizza, and Mario's Bowl. Kids can win baseball tickets and other prizes for reading a certain number of books, and the Cats players will participate in storytime events with the kids on July 5th and 17th. The summer reading program runs for 7 weeks and is completely free and available to kids up to 12 years old. Programming librarian Laura Princeller says the Reading Club has space for up to 550 children.
So this is a program that we've offered at the library for over 30 years. We know that it's really important that kids continue to practice reading throughout the summer. There's a concept called the summer slide, where kids who stop reading, they start school again in September and they've kind of backslid a little bit in what their abilities are. So a program like this really encourages the reading habit throughout the summer, and so it's one we are really excited to support.
You know, the Border Cats being a locally owned and operated team, we're all about community, and this is just another way for us to branch out and you know, help out the community in a lot of areas, promote what they're trying to do here. It's a great program.
More information about registering for the Reading Club can be found on the Public Library website. We're now joined by sports anchor Nev Van Pelt. Nev, Thunder Bay still in action yesterday. Haven't won in a couple games. Looking to turn the page on that and start a chapter of victory.
Yes, they had their last of a 3-game homestand, and we'll have those highlights for you after the break.